I'm never going to be able to win over all the pop punk viewers. I really need to do some more research. I'm really hoping this video is going to help out.
Give it up for all the other bands that played. We're a band called Sunrise Skater Kids from Baltimore.
I got this. Would it help if I offered you like some pizza first? Hey guys, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the debut album by the pop punk group Real Friends. Maybe this place is the same and we're just changing. I like the title of this album, but it doesn't go much beyond that. There's a lot of problems that I have with this band, and there are very few moments that kind of rise above this formula that they seem to follow. The formula is the following. They stick to a very generic song meaning. It's usually involving a relationship or a problem that sounds like some problem that an early adolescent would probably have. They tackle it on the song and then they throw in some very whiny vocals. That's a typical song. Not every song, but there are very few moments that kind of rise above that strict formula. There's a lot of overused cliches here on the record. They play this angst-ridden teen who's just a kid card far too often on the record, and they like to be a little bit overdramatic, starting with the track I Don't Love You Anymore, which is the second song on the album. It's really a shame, because if this album was mainly instrumental, I would probably be pretty into it. The fact is, there's a lot of great guitar moments here on this record. They play creatively for the most part, and the drumming is actually pretty intense at parts. There's some nice drum fills on tracks like Cover You Up and even Short Song. Even though I don't like Short Song really in terms of vocals, there are still moments on there musically that kind of outweigh that and make it at least a tolerable song for me. I think Cover You Up is a pretty solid track. You've got to admire the little bit of charm that it has. It's something that kind of soaks up the good moments of what this band actually does encompass whenever they stop trying so hard. At least their vocalist Dan stops trying so hard. Things actually come together. They make songs that are pretty well structured musically. It's just that they tend to wander. Lead vocalist Dan Lambton just feels like he's trying way too hard to like crush out these tracks vocally, and he gets off pitch. He gets, like I said, whiny for lack of a better word. He actually just tends to write songs that feel like they're in the same vein over and over again, and I think that it's not even the vocals that are a problem to me at all times. It's the fact that these songs lack interesting subject matter. The track Summer takes this unique instrumental and semi-squanders it over this whiny track that is mostly about love. Lambton proceeds to compare himself to glue that hasn't dried. I'm not exactly sure if I've ever heard that in a song before, nor do I ever want to again. He starts reminiscing not so fondly about this relationship that kind of headed south over the course of a few seasons from summer to winter, and we get to hear all about it. It has grown on me a bit though. There's something about it. I can't say the vocal performance is top-notch by any means, but it's kind of a little bit catchy musically, so I'm actually starting to sink into this one. It's one of the better songs on this record, and even if it isn't that for you, you've got to admit that there are far worse tracks here on this debut album. I've realized that I don't really hate this album at all. I might have come off a bit harsh right off the bat, but the more I listen to it, the more it's just mediocre to me. It's not anything that really bothers me or necessarily actually influences me in a good or positive way. It's just kind of there. There are a couple of songs where there's just really no redeeming qualities at all, at least in my opinion. Ones that I completely dismiss are tracks like the opener as well as 16. Those both have something in common, and it's the fact that they feel like they can pull off this open and airy acoustic style jam, and they just cannot. Their vocalist is not suited for that type of music at all. He comes off just sounding so echoey and distant and just kind of wailing about like certain things. I don't think that it suits this style of music. I don't know what style it would suit. Maybe like more of like an emo style, and maybe this is emo pop punk, but it's just not something that I can really get on board with. The lowest of lows on this record, the low point, and damn is it low, is the track To My Old Self. It kind of feels like a guy talking to his crush. He's talking to this girl maybe, perhaps he's talking too much. You know how you are when you're around your crush. You start talking and you can't shut the hell up. That's kind of how it feels, and he starts saying a lot of very unnecessary things, and that's what this entire track feels like to me. The last thing I want to ask is just, when did modern pop punk music turn into like a shouting match? There's so many bands these days that don't have the pop element of pop punk. Where are the hooks? Where are the memorable moments? Where are the things that I can sing along to? That's why I find myself not latching on to really many modern pop punk bands at all, and even when I do enjoy the music, it's not something that I can really come back to simply for the music. Real friends say it best on their own song, Loose Ends. I'm looking for something more. Solid tunes like Spread Me All Over Illinois show a little bit of promise, some bright in this gloom, I guess you could say, and there are moments that I definitely see why people get into this group. They have a lot of fans. I have an unpopular opinion. I don't see myself revisiting it really in the future, considering the majority of it sounds like it was written by a lonely 15-year-old boy in his bedroom on a Friday night. 2.5 out of 5. Let me know what you're thinking about the debut record from Real Friends in the comments section down below. You can always click right here if you'd like to see my last review, or right here if you'd like to go to my second channel. I've got a live hangout coming up next Monday on that channel. Of course, track reviews. I just did a Fall Out Boy / Paramore concert review over there. So if you click right here, that'll take you right to it. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Make sure to hit the like button on the review. Even if you don't agree with me, keep in mind, we've all got our opinions, and I'm just sharing mine with you. Until next time, guys, ARTV, Beyond the Reviews, don't forget to subscribe.